topic is going to be Christian. Not Christian, the believer in Jesus as the Messiah prophesied in the Old Testament, but Christian, the 16-year-old boy who took me on a date to the Outback Steakhouse. Earlier in the evening, Christian the boy came to see me in my high school play and invited me to dinner afterwards to celebrate my newfound thespianism. The play was Arsenic and Old Lace, and I still have the gray metallic old lady spray in my hair. The spray, along with my stellar teenage acting, is meant to fool the audience into thinking I'm somewhere in my mid to late 60s. Judging from the thunderous applause after Act 2, I'm pretty sure they bought it. Christian doesn't seem to care about the gray metallic hairspray slicking my curls back into a greasy wet heap. In fact, he seems to find me cute, despite my nervous finger twitches, overly round face, and arm eczema. All of this unsolicited admiration makes me respect him less. Christian suggests we start with an appetizer. Wise. Not only would this prolong the dinner, but we are talking about tacking a minimum of $5 to $7 onto the bill. I shake my head in mute fear, and he takes this as a yes and goes ahead and orders the bloomin' onion. After regaining my voice, I confess this is the first time I have ever ordered an appetizer, though I certainly was aware of them, like that time Cliff Huxtable takes Rudy and her friends out to dinner at a fancy restaurant. You mean you never ordered an appetizer with your parents, he asks? If I wasn't so horribly awkward, I would have laughed. In the maybe 4 times in my life I have been to a non-McDonald's restaurant, my mom stared down that menu like a hawk eyeing a rat. It was made very clear we were to drink water and fill up on bread. Family vacations were spent at the Econo Lodge, where my mom brought our toaster and a jar of Jif peanut butter. Every single penny needed to be accounted for, saved up, and hoarded away in a retirement nest egg that would later help fund my brother's drug addiction. It is now my turn to order. Though I want the grilled chicken on the Barbie, I choose the baked potato because it's the cheapest thing on the menu. I prefer that Christian thinks of me as the kind of girl he doesn't have to expend a lot of energy on. That's the image I want to project. Jen, she doesn't cost much. Christian is having none of this and encourages me to order something else, something better. And I sink further into my seat as the waitress looks on impatiently. Why is he putting so much pressure on me? Can't I just eat my baked potato and be left alone? I'm so distracted I can barely look at the menu. It's Christian's fault, really. His attempts to impress me wearing a bow tie and suspenders make me cringe until my muscles ache. I finally blurt out that I will have the filet mignon. Filet. I surely can't humiliate myself ordering a piece of fish. While awaiting our fancy appetizer, Christian again attempts to make conversation, each paragraph punctuated by a good, solid 30-second pause. I don't even know why he bothers. We have little in common as we go to different schools. He, the all-boys wealthy prep school. Me, the I hope our prayers protect us from the asbestos in the gym Catholic school. Since we cannot gossip about our classmates, we seek out the things we have in common. Arsenic and Old Lace. How revolutionary the Pulp Fiction screenplay was. Our sensei. That's right, I said sensei. Christian and I met in karate class, which is a little humiliating for him. I'm obviously taking the class to have a head start when I'm recruited by the FBI to begin my spy training. I don't know what he's doing there. He tries to ask me about our latest karate tournament, and the waitress flashes a grin when she brings us our drinks. God, he's such a dork. Besides, I was already beginning to replace my karate obsession with drama. My theory is, as an actor, you can just pretend to be a spy, which is kind of cooler since it pays more. You get to use your real name, and I wasn't so great at the roundhouse kicks. But I certainly wasn't going to tell Christian any of this. I would like to nervously run my fingers through my hair, but I can't because the gray metallic paint will come off on my hand. I learned this the hard way when Christian pulled a chair out for me when we first arrived. Idiot. Christian takes advantage of the Grand Canyon pause to pull something shiny out of his pocket. I secretly hope it's a gun to shoot myself with. But unfortunately, it is a red, glittery envelope. A card. A Valentine's Day card. Christian was giving me a Valentine. What a dick. What was I supposed to do now? Obviously, I'm expected to reciprocate with a box of chocolates or a pint of blood or something. But I didn't even know it's Valentine's Day, and the only things I have in my purse are a K-Swiss wallet, a tube of cherry-flavored lip chappy, and Christina Horn's Counting Crows tape with "Don't Lose This Biznatch" written on the inside cover. I didn't even have a set of house keys because my parents think they live in Mayberry and never lock the door. I wonder if I could make a dash into the bathroom and use toilet paper and lip chappy to create a valentine or a noose for myself. I am saved by the arrival of the bloomin' onion. It was pretty bloomin'. Massive fried orange onion petals, complete with a coral-colored bloom sauce for the stamen. Despite its beauty, I cannot touch this delicious fried flower. Since I was 13, I have been a strict follower of the T-Factor Fat Gram diet, of which I have lost a total of 4 pounds, though 2 of those pounds may have been from that month I had the shingles. According to my T-Factor Fat Gram counter, which I have memorized, the bloomin' onion has 82.9 fat grams. My limit for the entire day is 20. I am trapped. To eat the bloomin' onion goes against a 3-year diet philosophy, therefore ensuring that I will spend the rest of high school plump, boyfriendless, and a social outcast. But to refuse to eat the bloomin' onion will reveal that I'm insecure enough about my weight to be on a diet and thus humiliate me in front of a potential boyfriend, even if said potential boyfriend is wearing a bow tie. The dilemma is soul-crushing. It's like that book we read in Miss Barrow's class about the woman who has to decide which one of her children will go to the concentration camp. Christian gallantly inches the platter closer to me. He is lucky that bloomin' onion is a finger food, because if I had a fork, I would stab him in the suspenders. Take a bite, he says, as if we were in some kind of chain restaurant Garden of Eden. Maybe next weekend we can try the Awesome Blossom at Chili's. Life with Christian flashes before my eyes. Friday and Saturday nights spent touring non-McDonald's restaurants filled with fancy $7 appetizers. My prom night at Applebee's sharing chili cheese nachos. Our wedding reception catered by the Lone Star Steakhouse. If I were at home right now, I'd be eating fat-free saltines with low-fat cheese and watching the X-Files. Reaching across the table, I grasped the greasy fried onion ball, and with a deep breath, sacrifice a child to the Nazis. I'd love to, I say, with a mouthful of stamen sauce.